Overall, the Ulster University wants to see each of their doctoral students reach exciting heights in their research career. However, to achieve this, the university recognises that doctoral students need to be supported by a strategic and strong infrastructure. Led by the director, Mr. Tim Brundle, the Department of Research and Innovation at Ulster University works to contribute to and monitor the necessary infrastructure that doctoral and postdoctoral researchers require. In relation to doctoral research students, the infrastructure is made up of multiple layers, with each layer providing direction, guidance and support. Working out from our doctoral students at the centre, the infrastructure includes supervisors, research institutes, research graduate schools, the Research and Innovation Department and the Research Degrees Committee. This short presentation focuses primarily on the work of the Research and Innovation Department. So within this infrastructure, what exactly is the role of the Department of Research and Innovation at Ulster University? We could answer that question by summarising the work of the department in relation to two core activities. Internally, and led by Mrs. Angela Rippey, the team ensure that the right policies and processes are developed and implemented to ensure that postgraduate research students at Ulster University have access to a quality assured programme. However, the department also connects and builds relationships with external stakeholders, in particular research funders, to ensure that the research that is carried out is not only entrepreneurial, but that it is also meaningful to society. To find out more about how the Department of Research and Innovation reaches out through building and supporting external networks, you can visit the department's website. However, the purpose of this presentation is to focus on the internal role of the department, in order that as research supervisors, Ulster's academics can understand and optimise the processes and policies that benefit their doctoral research students. So what aspects of the doctoral research experience come under the remit of the Department of Research and Innovation? From an internal perspective, the Department of Research and Innovation are responsible for recruitment, admission, enrolment, liaising with funders, managing research funding applications, administering research student scholarships, progress monitoring and student examinations. The department also has a responsibility for the development and implementation of policy in relation to research degrees. For example, the department oversees the development of new degree programmes and the quality assurance process. In addition, the Research and Innovation Department monitors the number and the progress of the postgraduate research students within the degree programme as part of their management role and quality assurance. This information is provided as a statutory and periodic data that is returned to organisations in the UK, such as that of HEFCE, DEL, the RCUK and other research funders. Currently, there are over 900 research students at Ulster University who are studying across 6 different faculties. As you can see, many of these students are doctoral students, for example, Doctor of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, and PhD by published work. However, the majority of our doctoral candidates are studying for PhD. So what is the application process for potential doctoral students? To be eligible to complete a doctoral degree at Ulster University, the potential candidate must hold either a first-class honours degree or a second upper-class honours degree or, in circumstances where the competition is high, a first-class honours degree and a master's degree. Once a potential doctoral student applies to the university, as with any other job, they will be shortlisted and, if successful, asked to attend for interview around March or April time. Often potential students first seek admission information from an academic that works in the area in which they would like to study. If a potential student asks you about the admission process at the Ulster University, it is important that you explain that doctoral funded studies are advertised by the university early in the year, and that as only 150 of the 900 applications will be accepted, it is important that they invest their time in writing a high-quality application. Ulster University also welcomes the cultural diversity and expertise that international students bring to our doctoral research and innovation community. However, there are additional requirements that should be considered when advising potential or current international students. First, it is important that international candidates demonstrate their ability to read, understand and converse in English. Second, NARIC equivalence is important. NARIC is used to assess the equivalence of each international student's qualifications against the UK's qualifications. The Department of Research and Innovation uses the NARIC database to assess the eligibility of international students. ATAS clearance for restricted research. International students planning to carry out research in certain fields are required to go through clearance checks, for example, counter-terrorism. And they must do this before a visa can be issued for study. This requires that the faculty provide a brief statement regarding the nature of the study. Advice is provided to the faculty by the research and innovation staff for each applicant within this category. Our international students should also be aware that it is routine within the UK for the registration details to be held by the university for visa purposes, and that they will have to sign in at their school office every 2 weeks. Through this process, the Home Office monitors which researcher students are studying within the UK. So let's unpack the overall doctoral process for students studying at the Ulster University. Doctoral studies are normally completed over 3 years, with the final examination, corrections and graduation in Year 4. During Year 1, the student completes an induction programme that introduces them to the doctoral research study programme and how to navigate their way to success. They are also required to complete the initial assessment, or 100-day viva as it is sometimes called. During this viva, they will need to present their research protocol for peer review within the university. The confirmation viva is completed near the end of Year 1, and this is where the examiners assess whether or not the research that is being conducted is at doctoral level. A second assessment is carried out in Year 2, and a presentation of the research again in Year 3. Year 3 is also when the doctoral student submits their research thesis, and each year the doctoral student submits an annual report. It is important that the annual report is complete and written satisfactorily, as poorly presented or incomplete reports prevent your student from progressing into the next year of their study. It is also important to note that the thesis must be submitted by the deadline appointed in Year 3. Year 4, as already pointed out, includes the doctoral student defending their thesis at an oral viva and making any required corrections. At each of these progression points, faculty assesses if the student can continue. However, it is the Department of Research and Innovation that processes the reported progress and communicates this information to the doctoral student. It is important to point out that unlike taught degree programmes, the research supervisor cannot examine or assess their own students. How the doctoral student experiences studying at the Ulster University will depend on how well you, as a supervisor, encourages them to become involved in and contribute to the greater research network. There are different ways in which your student can start to engage with other academic staff members, doctoral students and their peers. Ulster's Research Development Programme supports the development of the doctoral students and their capacity to work with others to ensure the wider impact of their research. This programme is distinctive and we think unique in providing doctoral students with the opportunity not only to receive a reward at doctoral level, but also via the Research Development Programme to potentially enhance the student's place in the professional world through the opportunity to gain associate memberships of both the Higher Education Academy and the Institute of Leadership and Management. Doctoral research supervisors should actively encourage their students to be strategic in optimising the professional support and development available both centrally and their respective faculty. Here are some examples of how you might do that. Encourage them when they're taking part in the faculty level research seminars, to attend external events and social events, and to engage in outreach, for example by attending conferences. When your student is in their third year, it is important that the lead supervisor nominates the examiners 3 months prior to the submission of the thesis. Note that there is not 3 months before the viva, but before the thesis is submitted. This gives the Department of Research and Innovation time to ensure that the examiners are appointed and that there is time for them to receive and read the thesis. You will have to nominate a chair, an external examiner, and an internal examiner, keeping in mind that if the doctoral candidate is also a member of the university staff, that 2 external examiners will need to be nominated. The process entails you, as the primary supervisor, completing an RS-12 form, where you, in collaboration with any other supervisors on the team, nominate a board of examiners. You will have to include the proposed external examiners' CVs. The form is then signed off by the faculty, Head of Research Graduate School, and forwarded to the Department of Research and Innovation. The department will then seek the Research Degrees Committee approval. When the doctoral study is completed, there is much to celebrate. The student, the university, the research community and society will benefit from the publication of new knowledge in the form of a thesis and peer-reviewed journal articles. In addition, the doctoral student will have developed not only as a professional scholar, but also as an independent researcher, who can then move on not only to continue being a researcher, but begin to learn how to support new and upcoming doctoral students. If you would like to know more about the Department of Research and Innovation, you can find our web pages on the Ulster University's portal. Here's the details. Thank you.